We have 3 questions today, which is typical. And the first question is this: is the doctrine of the Nicolaitans the same as the teaching of Balaam referred to in Revelation 2:14 and 15? So the reference is Revelation 2, verses 14 and 15. So to put the question in context, I would encourage you to, well, I'll tell you what, let's just do that right now. Revelation 2. Give me just a second. Revelation 2. It says, verse 14. He says, "But I have a few things against you. You have some there who hold to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to put a stumbling block before the sons of Israel, so that they might eat food sacrificed to idols and practice sexual immorality. So also you have some who hold to the teaching of the Nicolaitans." Okay, and so your question is are these two things the same? Well, let's talk about what the teaching of Balaam is. First of all, this is really, to get a reference behind this, you have to go to the book of Numbers. And one of the things that Balaam did was he recruited the Midianite women in order to tempt the men of Israel into worshiping false gods. And of course, obviously, they did this by offering or eating food sacrificed to idols. And apparently, the Nicolaitans were doing the very same thing. They were, now I don't know if they were using, I don't know if they were using sexual means to entice men away from the one true God, but apparently they were using something to the effect. They were tempting the church to woo them away from God in order to worship false gods. So in a sense, they are one and the same. Now, some people would say, well, where does this teaching come from? Well, there was a man by the name of Nicholas who was a convert. We read about this in the book of Acts. And then later he denied the faith or was pulled away into Gnosticism and committed an act of apostasy. It's possible that he is the one behind this false teaching. I don't know that for sure, nor do other scholars. It's only a speculation. But I do see a tie between those two teachings, and the intent was to woo the people of God away in order to worship false gods. Okay? And God says he hates that, and he's thankful that the church hates it as well. So thank you for your question today.